bills make me wanna. The bills make me wanna. The bills make me wanna.
This is a Kmart production brought to you by Doug's Chiropractic and Empire Towing and Recovery.
Listener's discretion is advised. Sawbills Podcast.
Welcome to Zob Bills Podcast. If this is your first time, we discuss the Bills games while we review two different Buffalo pizzas. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the big show.
Episode 22. Welcome back to Zob Bills Podcast, the show where we talk about pizza, the Bills, and whatever else comes to our mind. Tonight, at the table, we got some familiar faces, and we've got...
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow? Yo! I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Yeah, that's Alicia's intro.
Yes. To my left, Dennis, welcome back to the show.
How we doing?
Good, how are you, sir?
Good.
Pre-show, you were telling me you were experiencing a little bit of pain.
A lot of pain lately. Today is actually the best day. I got some antibiotics for my my tooth infection for my wisdom teeth. Get your wisdom teeth when you're young, because I still have them, and it's not good.
You're 40 what?
2.
And you still have all of them?
Yeah.
All 4?
Yeah.
I think I was only born with 3.
That's how I'm so smart.
Wow.
I
I need to get that soundbite, the rim shot. Okay, then I have Brendan. Welcome back, sir.
Hello, hello.
Our in-house delivery guy.
For now,
Thank you so much. We'll fork shadow a little bit. Where did you go tonight?
Lock City Pizza and Pizza Oven Pizza in Lockport, New York.
That's in Niagara County, correct?
Correct.
All right. Looking at my bald protege at the opposite end of the table, who I've missed for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Mike, welcome back.
Thank you. Just compare me to the old lady from Titanic. It's been 84 years. That's what it feels like. It's been forever. It's good to be back.
Welcome back. I'm glad you're feeling a lot better. And you and Brendan have got quite the selection at the end of the table. We'll get into that a little bit later. A lot of beverages, a lot of bottles.
I'm going to throw her under the bus. Alicia's in on this, too.
Yeah, she is.
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah. And folks, special appearance tonight, Mrs. Bill's podcast. my beautiful, intelligent wife, Alicia. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. I was told if I wanted to eat and drink, I needed to put headphones on.
That is true. That is a prerequisite. Is Professor Pizza coming on at all for pizza?
He has homework.
Okay. Priorities. Maybe when he's done, he'll come back and talk about stuff. Okay. Let's get into it. Dennis, what did you think of these two pizzas?
I liked them. I thought Pizza Oven was a little bit better. The pepperoni was great. The cup and char, very, very good. And, Lock City was the one. Lock City was the one with the whole circle square thing. It's
Yep.
no good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a prerequisite for me. So, it tasted decent, but, I mean, what the hell are they doing with the shapes?
I don't know. You know, that, Brandon, which one was cash only?
Lock City.
Lock City, yeah.
Lock City, okay. Well, if they would have had online ordering, like Pizza Oven, maybe that could give you the option. Would you like square cut in a circular pizza?
Yeah.
And you check, no thank you.
Yeah. They were both pretty good, though. It's the first time I had either of them.
Yep.
Never had them, so it was pretty good.
Yeah. Brendan, you're a Lockport guy.
Yes, so I grew up down the street from both of these establishments. They were, I would say, debatably the two biggest pizza places in Lockport. It's always a debate which one you like better. Either you're a Pizza Oven guy or a Lock City guy or girl. And I wanted to see how these matched up since the last time I've had them, which has probably been, I want to say, a good 10, 15 years since I've had both of them. Lock City even longer than that, I would bet. But Pizza Oven was always my place. I love a sweet sauce, and it has not changed. This sauce is probably the sweetest sauce I've ever had on any pizza ever, outside of a dessert pizza.
At Macy's?
No.
Who'd you get a dessert pizza from?
Just like Pizza Hut lunch buffet dessert pizza.
okay.
They do like the apple one. It was almost like apple pie
apple
filling.
strudel.
Yeah, and then I think they would have a blueberry one too or something. But so Pizza Oven definitely has not changed. To Dennis's points with the cuts, it's almost cut like bocce kind of, where they have like the long, almost like rectangle cuts. And ironically, they also, when you do like a half large or whatever they call it, I don't know if they call it a medium, but it's basically a half. It's cut in that long rectangular box like Bocce's does too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I always liked Pizza Oven. Great value there. I don't know how much this one was, but I know that they charge $1.40 a square if you walk in for a slice. So always accessible for a young boy growing up in Lockport.
For Sean, who's missing the value, Lock City was $26. Cash only, folks. Pizza Oven, I believe, was $25.
All right.
So,
But yeah, so Pizza Oven, really good cup and char pepperoni, extremely sweet sauce, like I said, good overall taste, very sloppy, floppy, soft.
sloppy.
Yes.
Oh, that was the soundbite.
What was interesting too is the first slice that I pulled out was very thin, and that was the one that we used for the video, unfortunately. But it was very thin, and when I ate it, I was like, "Oh man, I don't remember this being so thin." And then I sneaked back to the box and got another piece, and it was from the exact opposite side of the pizza, and it was much thicker, a lot better cook on the crust. So that's more of what I remember. So it's an interesting way that cooked or was rolled out or however that works. I'm not a pizza guy, or at least pizza maker. I'm a pizza guy, I would say.
We all are at this point.
Yeah. Lock City was always not my favorite, and I wanted to be not biased about this and see if my tastes have changed, and I would say they have not. Definitely not as sweet a sauce. The pepperoni is not cup and char. Still decent pepperoni, but it's not cup and char.
Like a hybrid.
Yeah, almost, because it kind of gives you that almost like browning kind of as it's cooking, but not really getting that black that you find on the char, I guess you would say. The crust, I didn't like, really. It's very crunchy crust, and not, to me, in a good way, I would say. I didn't really like the pull on the bite. So, I didn't want to be biased, but Pizza Oven's definitely got my vote here.
All right, I have to go back, Dennis. Which one did you pick?
Pizza Oven.
Okay. All right. You completed, Brennan? You're all set?
Yep, I'm good.
Mike, step up to the plate. It's been 2 weeks.
All right.
I hope you didn't spit anything out today.
No, I didn't. I have to shake the rust off, though. I have to be very, very careful with this because this could affect my marriage if I don't answer this properly.
We can blur your voice so they don't know it's you.
Hey, you cannot be biased as a pizza man.
Yeah, pizza man, call it honest, down the line.
So my wife will tell you that Lock City is the best out of the oven, and then Pizza Oven is better the next day. So I'm going to go ahead and disagree with her. I really do like
this
the
is
Pizza
drama,
Oven.
folks.
Yeah, she's probably going to punch me. We were out with her cousin Kevin, and we were out with him Saturday night, and I told them that we may do these pizzas this week, and he's like, "It better be Pizza Oven," because he's a Pizza Oven guy.
Yeah.
So I definitely like the Pizza Oven sauce, that sweet sauce. I said it to you as soon as I took a bite. I'm like, this is definitely different, and it was different in a very good way. Yeah. So there was no pull on either one of them, I didn't think, but wasn't a deal breaker for me. I'm just going to go ahead and go with Pizza Oven.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny you're texting people. I texted my best friend from high school a picture of the boxes, and I said, it's on tonight, because he was always a Lock City guy. And I told him it's still second best, man. So shout out Tony Farina, but you're wrong, man.
Okay, Alicia, you're up. This is your first official pizza review.
Well, I've never had either of these pizzas myself. I I agree with some of the things that everyone has been saying. Lock City, the crust is what kind of turned me off. I don't know if it was overcooked or if that's always how it is, but the crunchy bottom and the crust is too crunchy. But I almost got like a hot dog flavor vibe. I don't know if it's the pepperoni or a seasoning in there, but one bite I was like, that almost tastes like a hot dog. And so, not really my thing. But the pizza oven, you've been talking about the sweet sauce. I fully expected it, but it's a different thing when you actually bite into it. It looked great. I'm like Professor Pepperoni. That apple didn't fall far from my tree.
No.
Cup and char is, if I see it, it looks better. It's probably going to get my vote from the start. That pizza oven, right, looked fantastic. The sweet sauce did not deter me. I don't know that I would choose it if I had an option, but it was good. It was nice and soft. Everything kind of balanced each other, and pizza oven has my vote.
Okay. Well, I would describe the pizza oven as the Bocce's Club of the North. Similar cuts, similar cook, shape. Sauce is definitely sweeter on the pizza oven than a Bocce. I did enjoy that, though. It wasn't like, holy cow, this is sweet, but it's definitely a noticeable sweet, and I did enjoy it. Had a better cup and char. Also has like a French bread crust where the cheese is overhanging the edge. Lock City's a good pizza. I thought it was too much sauce. The crust was too dense. It did have that pull and tear bite to me. Lacked the cup and char, but it was like a hybrid pepperoni. It was still good though. The sauce was good flavor. It didn't taste bad. It was just came down to, I guess, the physics of the slice. My vote is also for pizza oven. That's a 5-0.
Wow, clean sweep, huh?
Did you have an end, like a crust piece for Lock City, or a middle?
I definitely selected a crust piece. Yeah, when you're doing this,
Surprised
you
you
have.
say it had a pull. I didn't find that.
You didn't find that.
Well,
Maybe my
I
teeth
had-
aren't as sharp.
I guess when you say a pull, I think like a nice fluffy pull, not like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose my teeth.
No, not like you're gonna lose your teeth, but you bite into
was
it
too
and
hard.
you gotta,
A little extra.
little extra
bite
effort.
action
Yeah.
needs
Yeah. Am I the only one that thought that, or you did?
I agree.
But Mike did not.
Mike did not.
No. Okay. It could have been what side of the pizza I grabbed too. Like pizza oven was way less cooked on one side than the other. Correct? Or thinner and thicker.
Thinner. It was almost like a,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
And I will tell you this too, because you mentioned a couple times how, pardon me, Lock City is cash only.
Yeah.
Kelly insisted I try it one time, and we ordered it and went there, and we forgot it was cash only. So we walk in.
What'd you have to do to get that pizza?
The guy was like, "Just take it and bring us money. You'll be in again." We're like, "No way!" We went to 7-Eleven next door to the ATM and got money. Went back,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he just sent us out the door with the pizza. I mean, that's how.
That's how confident he is that you're going to like his pizza and come
Right,
back.
see? We
Wow.
did 5 minutes later, but
Yeah. Well, all right. Since you guys are already clanging glasses, why don't we get right into the burbs,
Tin.
into the bourbons, and my
Might be a long segment over here.
I'll take a couple sips of some stuff tonight.
All right.
Yes, I gotta get. Oh, okay. First up is what do we got here, Alicia?
Is this the Russells, Alicia?
That is the Russell's Reserve.
And do you want to discuss or talk and mention where you got it from and why we have it?
I decided to contribute to the podcast bourbon segment because I wanted to join.
you can stay.
Yeah, thank you. So I stopped at our local Caputis, which is my go-to for typically wine and other spirits, and asked if they had any bourbon recommendations for our podcast. They did, and offered to be a guest in the future. Unless we
Pending
did not
this.
like what they suggested, then they can't be associated with us. But he was kidding.
What did you think before I get in?
I enjoyed it. I'm
Okay.
not a bourbon connoisseur. I enjoy sipping on bourbon, but I know less about bourbon than I do about wine. I will tell you probably will not like that. But go ahead and try.
But full disclosure, before the guys at Computies don't come on our show, Kyle doesn't like any bourbon.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And I did say that you actually do not drink any of
Okay,
the bourbon,
folks.
but I liked it. I thought it was smooth. It didn't.
I need to have a catchphrase like one,
Throw it all down.
one,
No,
one,
don't do that.
one
Do
sip,
the Sean Viola.
one sip, one. That did not burn as bad.
Good.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see if I can. Let me see if I can do 2 in a row.
Kyle's going to be on the floor in 30 seconds.
I didn't make the face, did I?
That's pretty good.
Bitter face.
You need the Anchorman clip where he's just like, that just smells like pure gasoline.
Hey, he's building up some
60%
Yeah.
of the time,
stamina
it
here.
works every time.
Every time.
I'll let you go.
Okay. Well, and mine has a story, I guess, attached with it. So Kyle was contacted by somebody who listens to the show and said, hey, there's a bourbon raffle at Georgetown Liquors on Sheridan Drive last night, day of, which might be tough, but I made it happen. I was like, well, I'm going because there was some nice bourbons included in that raffle. I think a 10, 15, and a 20-year Pappy, George T. Stagg, was it William LaRue? Is that the one? I think, and then some other one I never heard of before. But they had a bunch of bottles, and I was like, well, I'm going to go and try, and the prices were good, too. Like, the 20-year Pappy was the most expensive one. It was only $350.
Oh, no kidding. Which is, well, that's a 4-digit bottle all day long, so that
Yeah.
$350 is good. Yeah.
I mean, you could resell that for probably $1,200.
So let me ask you this: do you think that's their cost that they're selling it at?
No. I've actually talked to retailers, distributors, and a bottle like that, they'll sell it to the store for a couple $100, and they turn it around for $1,200-$1,500.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know.
I don't buy that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what the stores are allowed to do as far as like the markup on that sort of thing, because I mean I've seen it like aftermarket, like on online websites and stuff.
But that's why they do the raffle. So was this raffle for the right to buy the bottle?
Yeah.
So that's it. These people are buying all these tickets, and all that money is for is the winner then gets to buy the bottle. You don't get the bottle, so then that's why they can sell it for that.
So how much was a raffle ticket?
Well, this one. So I've been to a couple different ones, and I know what you're talking about. So there's ones where you might have to buy the ticket, and this wasn't that case. Like this is one where, like they're basically just pulling names like out of the hat.
Okay.
And what they did for this one is they actually pulled the name of the bottle, and they pulled the name, and you got it.
Okay.
Well, you didn't get it; you had to buy it.
then,
but
right.
yeah, but that's why I was interested in going because it said no purchase necessary. So, but I've been to ones where you've had to buy, or you had to buy
Silent auction.
something or whatever. But also, I've been to ones where they, just hand out tickets, and then you pull your ticket, and you get to select which bottle you
Right.
want to buy. So
First
it
come,
was.
first served, yeah.
They're all different. Everyone's run a different way depending where you go.
A buddy of mine went to one that was a silent auction, won it, only to realize he then had to buy the bottle.
So
He-
how
he-
how did they do that? Because wouldn't you normally write how
Yep.
much you want
Yep,
to pay for it?
You write how much you're willing at this point to pay for the right to buy the bottle, and he thought he was buying the bottle.
Oh,
so
that is
so
unfortunate.
do you remember any details? Like he bid how much, and then how much was the bottle?
I think out of pocket altogether, he was in about $700. It was it was an Angel's Envy, but it was the one that comes in the wooden box and the whole. I don't know the pour.
Aged for
Yeah, all I know is he opened it at his wedding, and we weren't shy about it. So
Oh, he did buy
That's
it.
a lot of money.
he bought. Then he had to come home and explain it to his soon-to-be wife.
Yeah.
Oh, $700. That's a lot.
Oh, are you kidding? That's a lot of money. Yeah.
I didn't tell Kyle what I spent on that bottle.
I didn't even ask. Weren't you proud of me? I didn't even ask.
Look at you.
Yeah. All right. What else we got? Okay. What else we got?
Well,
down
yeah.
here?
So anyway, so I was at that bourbon raffle, and I didn't get my name pulled or anything, but they had some interesting stuff there. They had a bunch of Penelopes there. They had a bunch of Bardstowns, more of the high-end ones, which I wasn't really ready to pull the trigger on. But I did hear something about this Calumet online, if that's how you say it. And I saw they had like 3 of them. And I said, well, I'm going to get the most aged one they have. So it's a 10-year. It was about $60. And then they had a Knob Creek 12-year, which was also only about $60. So...
which is a good price for 12.
Yeah, so good prices. So shout out Georgetown Liquor. They have a really nice bourbon selection, and so they got me in the door, and I didn't win, and I bought something. So I think that's how it's supposed to work. Yeah.
What is the difference between the Knob Creek you bought and the Knob Creek that Sean contributed? Years?
Yes.
Yeah, years, and that's out of 1 barrel. The one that Sean has was out of 1 barrel, so they age 1 barrel. That's what they poured. A lot of these, they'll combine barrels to get the proof they want.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So this one's aged 12 years. That's why it's Knob Creek 12.
Okay.
And then I have a bottle that's Knob Creek 15. I think you had that, right?
I don't know if we did the 15. I brought in the 18 that I got that one time.
Yes.
I don't know if you brought in the 15 or not.
Okay. I brought you a little bottle of 15.
Okay.
Normal Knob Creek, not that one, but a normal Knob Creek is 9 years. So 9, 12, 15, and now they have 18 year.
That one's probably less than 9, I would guess.
Could be, or it could be 9 just out of 1 barrel. I'll tell you, we did, my friend who's the bourbon guy who we'll have on eventually, we did a blind test one night where we had somebody set them up for us, the 9, 12, and 15 year, and didn't tell us what it was. And both he and I and my wife put them all in the same order. We all liked the 12 the best, then the 15, then the 9. Isn't that crazy?
I can't wait to crack that open.
For
Hopefully better than I cracked open this bottle.
Right.
We got a little floating cork in this Calumet bottle, unfortunately.
oh, we do.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
broke
flavor,
the
right?
cork off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man down.
yeah.
For those that are interested in bourbon and want to see what we're talking about, you can find that at the same place that you can find our short little videos and pictures of the pizzas that we eat. Zabil's Podcast on Facebook, Zabil's Podcast on Instagram, Zabil's YouTube. Yeah, if you heard that noise, that is the newly functioning ice cream machine that now is serving Dole Whip.
Can't wait. Can't wait for a little dessert.
Ah, Dole Whip. It's been so long. I've missed you. It's a nice little contrast to the custard.
Yeah.
What is that fancy thing in the Grandpa's cologne bottle looking thing?
So I brought 2 bottles. I brought a 4 Roses small batch. It's $40 for that bottle. Nothing crazy, but it's good. The other one, I'm not going to tell you what it is yet.
Okay.
So that bottle, the Grandpa's Cologne looking bottle, is from an H.W. Harper bottle. When we were done with it, it's a fancy looking bottle. You pull a label off, and my friend has a label maker.
Oh, look at that.
So we put that on there. It's a Sabres, the goat head.
Nice.
So I bought something that I'd like even you to try.
Okay.
And then
I'm ready.
And then
Put me in, coach.
I'll tell everybody what it is once you've tried it.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Cool.
It's not some like poison, right?
No, I love this.
Okay.
Love it.
All right.
So I'll let you try it. It's on the sweeter side, which is why I think you'll like it.
Okay.
So
I need to get a kid to get me a glass or something.
I'll get you one.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's the bourbon selection tonight.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, well,
And then are you into 6?
we
We got
still-
6 options here.
yeah, actually 7 with the bottle that
7.
Sean
Yeah.
brought a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for the bourbon section.
Speaking of Sean, do we want to give him a quick call?
You know what? Let's do that before he. Let's.
Can't wait to hear the story.
Good segue, Mike. Of moving on from him. Or okay, let's see. Oh, hold on a second. Who am I getting a text from here?
Oh, man. Alicia is such a great addition. She got you a real glass.
You know what? 20. What year is it? 24. Are we going on 20 years of being together? Has it been?
She said she can't remember, Kyle.
Yeah, it's been so long. Oh, nope, called the wrong guy.
He asked how long you've been together.
All right,
Is it 20?
we'll see if he answers.
It will be 20
This November? Yeah. All right, come on.
Kyle knew.
Hey, this is Bill's podcast. Is this Sean Viola?
This is the Sean Viola. Welcome, Bill's podcast. How's it going?
Good. We had, I should save you 2 slices of pizzas and drop them off to you later.
I think we're good.
Oh,
but I
geez.
appreciate the thought.
Well, you know, Dudzik Chiropractic sponsored these pizzas tonight, the official chiropractor of the Bill's podcast.
I love Dr. Dudzik. He is the man.
I heard you might need to see him.
You know what? It might be something that in my near future, I will have to hit Dr. Dudzik up for some of his special back refixing techniques.
Are you comfortable telling the viewers of Bills or listeners of why you may not be in house tonight?
I have no problem. I'm a big believer in having other people learn from other people's mistakes. I very out of character. Very out of character for me. I was very nonchalant, kind of bland, kind of ho-hum, and I should not have been. And I took a ladder, was going to go on my roof, was going to go solo, thought I had it, climbed up the ladder, got to the top, about 2 seconds from just going from the ladder to the roof, and the entire ladder went right out from under me. And all I can recall is a slow motion descent down. I like to imagine it like Clark Griswold. And if it wasn't for the fact that I think I stuck the landing, but if it wasn't for the fact that I hit the back of my head on a one of those outdoor wood fireplaces, you know, the ones that have the gas propane tank. And I probably would be there live, but I caught my head pretty good, got a couple of staples in the back of my head, and just took my first shower, feeling really good right now. So, ladies and gentlemen of the Bills Nation, please, for me, the next time you decide to go on a ladder, make sure that it is stable and that there's someone else out there holding the ladder.
OSHA.
For you to climb up.
OSHA approved spotter.
Well, glad to hear you're feeling better.
Yes, thank you, Denny. Thank you.
Sean, what were you doing on the roof?
It's a really good question and a really unique story. My daughter's door handle in her bedroom broke. The lock was working, the handle was working, but you couldn't get in. The little tabby thing was stuck. So her windows open sometimes, and I was like, well, instead of taking off the handle on the door, I'll just climb on top of our, family room, and I'll just open the window, slide in. And that was the strategy. It was not a good strategy, as it turns out. And my wonderful father-in-law came in and he took care of it while I was getting stapled up, and I got to put a door handle on this weekend. So not really a great story. Not really my finest moment, but as I tell my children, if I've got to go through it so you learn never to go up the ladder by yourself, then it will have been worth it.
So how did she get into her bedroom?
Sean, this is the wife of Bills.
I was in the hospital, and he basically pried the molding off and was able to slip a screwdriver there to kind of push the little door latchy thing inside, and the door came free, and they were able to finish taking apart the doorknob.
Hey, Sean, when you get that fixed, do you go into one of the local home hardware stores and ask for the little tabby thing?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to be like, I need a little tabby door stop thingy, and they're going to look at me and they're going to be like, you came to the right spot, you yokel, because you don't know what you're talking about, and we'll be able to assist you. Can you draw it for us? If you can draw it for us,
take a picture. Take a picture.
Might have a better clue.
Yeah. You told me the story earlier today when I was checking in on you, and I just kind of was shaking my head like, you went in through the window to break through a door?
It made sense in my pre-scrambled brain. I'm not sure. Maybe the fall knocked some sense into me. I'm not sure, but it made sense.
I mean, I follow your logic, but now you've got probably a door jam to fix.
But he
too,
didn't
so.
know if 100% if the window was even unlocked for him to go through the window.
I did not.
I mean, I'm sure you have some experience putting up all those decorations.
Well,
you know what?
That
I
wasn't even a
usually
second
have
thought.
someone handy on hand, but I was a little overconfident or too cocky for my own good, and I just, I was about 2 seconds from getting the roof. I'd have been a little stranded up there, but I would have rather been stranded than to, fall. And I'm very blessed. I am very lucky.
Yeah.
I kind of got in the house. My wife was right on the scene. I just said, honey, lots of blood. And she got me a towel and, she went right off to the emergency room and took care of business as I was just trying to keep it together as best as I could. But first star goes to my wife, who certainly was on the scene to pick up the pieces. Let's put it that way.
She seems like she handles pressure well. But
She does, certainly does.
glad you're okay, because that really could, go 100 different ways.
Yeah.
Oh, she
Sean,
definitely went a
Sean,
couple of different ways, too.
Sean, hold on 1 second. We're going to patch in a call.
Okay.
While he's doing that, Sean, that sounds like the story of a teacher who was looking to get another
Chris,
day
hold on
off
1
of
sec.
school.
All right, here we go. Chris and Sean, you're both on the line. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well, boys. How's the Zabills Nation going out there?
We're good. We're
great.
into the burbs. Sean's on the phone telling us why he can't be here tonight.
Well, I saw the picture of the bourbon. That seems to be a little bit bigger of a booze chest than I'm used to being there. There's about 5 or 6 bottles.
Chris, I've missed 2 weeks. I have to make up for lost time.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Mike's been on IR. He's coming out with a fury tonight.
Hey, really quick, since we have you two on the phone, I'm going to actually make one more call. Hold on a second. I'm going to have to hold this one up to my microphone.
Sounds good.
Is he calling blackout?
Surprise phone call.
Okay.
3-way.
But the
Hey there, how are you? Happy birthday.
oh, I totally forgot to put him on.
Oh,
Yeah,
Skip's
Skipper.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Skip.
Where is he? Hang on. Let me do it this way, Skip, so you can see Kyle.
I totally forgot to. I was going to do that at some point. I got it written down here.
All right.
All right, everyone. Zop Bill's one of our members' birthdays today. We won't say how old he is, but happy birthday to Skip.
Happy birthday, Skip.
There you go.
Happy birthday.
Good call, Mike.
Put that near the microphone.
Oh, yeah. I'll put it on the microphone so you can hear it.
All right.
All right. So, Kyle, real quick, since we have everybody on the phone,
Almost, yeah.
well, what's that?
You want to hold it?
Yeah, if you don't mind. If you want to hold it by your mic, too.
Yep.
The group of us got together, and we know how much work that you put in behind the scenes.
Oh, I hit a button. Mike, fix
Hold
this.
on.
Things are going
There
off
you
the
go.
rails
There you
over
go.
here. All right, I won't touch anything.
So we know how much time you put in behind the scenes, and we just show up and talk, and we decided to get together and do a little something for you. So,
Another surprise.
So bring her out.
Oh,
welcome to the
yeah.
stage,
How do they pronounce that?
Cinnamon.
Oh, jeez.
S-I-N.
Oh, boy.
So the group of us all got together and got you something that we think would work well for the podcast.
Sprucing up the base, our location, our
What the
podcast
hell?
center.
You have no idea what this is?
Just asked to bring it down.
All right, hold on. Sean and Chris, you know about this?
Of course.
Yes, we do.
Nicely wrapped. That's some nice paper. I would
You
say.
like that?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's really nice paper.
Fragile must be Italian.
Yeah.
Suspense is killing me here. I'm locked on.
Yeah, just gonna some
Do you,
editing.
do you guys want
to
to
be
play by
done
play?
Come on.
He's unwrapping right now.
I say, based on the length of time and it's taking on wrap, somebody wrapped that pretty
Kyle.
good.
here. Oh, it's wrapped pretty good.
Other side. Yep. Go
Boys, this is a big box.
Go that way.
It's a big box.
Yep. There you go.
The paper is off.
All right.
Cardboard box is being opened.
Ooh.
Oh shit! What is this? Oh shit! Where'd you assholes get this?
I know a guy.
Oh my god!
Explain it to the viewing people.
Folks, everyone knows that I have a special. Okay, love is shirt love, a love for my man GD13, and I've got a beautiful red signed red. Oh my god, Davis jersey, framed. Oh my god.
So I don't know if you remember, Kyle, but about a week ago we were all going back and forth in the chat, comparing our signed paraphernalia, whatever you want to call it, and you ended that conversation with, "I don't have anything." Now you do.
Which, looking up into the rafters of the Za Bills studio is not true, because I see a signed CJ Spiller thing.
Oh, yeah.
All right, did you get a picture? We can put that on the thing.
There you go.
Am I Bill's skirt?
And your Bill's kilt. Oh, man. Yeah. When Davis makes the Hall of Fame, that's going to be a great piece.
Yeah.
Who's he going to make the Hall of Fame for? It's not the Bills.
Not the Bills.
All right, so let me.
Wow, Kyle's speechless.
This is more than generous from you guys. I had this idea of just doing something fun with a group of guys that I like spending time with, and the fact that you guys keep coming back and you guys look up stats and you deal with my shenanigans and my fucking 7 million texts and stuff like that, and you actually respond and everything. Like, this is more than necessary, and thank you so much.
You're welcome.
There you go.
Looks good.
Buddy, right over the Christmas machine.
You know what that means? You know what that means? Now I have to finish my basement sooner than later.
Oh, thank you. I'm all thinking all of that too.
Yeah, we'll have a construction day.
There you go.
That's all it took. I mean, I would have gotten you
A Josh Allen signed jersey. Okay, hey, Chris and Sean, I want to have a Buffalo trivia game with the two of you.
Hang on real quick. Do we
Okay.
want to let Skipper go? It's his birthday.
Yes.
So.
Skip, happy birthday. We'll talk to you very
Happy
soon.
birthday, Skip.
All right. Everyone says happy birthday. The guy's on the phone, too. All right. Take it easy, Skip.
Thanks, Skip. See ya.
Bye.
Okay, Chris and Sean, this is Buffalo trivia.
Okay.
How do we want to? So they just blurt an answer out. How about you say your first name when you think you know the answer first? Okay.
For the record, I don't like any sort of trivia against Sean. I feel like I'm already handicapped.
And listen, this sounds like a concussion test, so I'm a little suspicious in this.
Okay.
We're going to put you in the blue tent pretty soon.
Okay.
There is some history here, too.
Yes,
so.
this is Buffalo. This is not Bill's stuff. It's general Buffalo questions.
Oh, geez.
Question 1. One president of the United States served as sheriff of Erie County, mayor of the city of Buffalo, and governor of New York
Grover
State.
Cleveland.
Yeah. No, you got it right.
Okay.
Is that Wallet?
Yeah.
Is that Woody?
Question 2.
I was a little delayed on that. I got Sean's. I didn't hear Sean. Sorry.
It's all good, buddy. It's all good.
A few presidents are from Buffalo, but even more have visited. Oh, stop. You're wrong. Now Woody gets to go first. Stop. Yes. A few presidents are, quote, from Buffalo, but even more have visited Buffalo. How many times has a president visited the Queen City?
Like all of them combined or one specific?
Total president visits.
Past 200 years.
12.
Sean, did you give a guess?
He said 12.
12. That seems high.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going back. I feel like Lincoln was there. It might have been after he died, but I feel like he was there before that. I know he was in Throne.
After he died?
McKinley was there. He died there. I know this record of Kennedy being there.
His death tour was through
Clinton
Buffalo.
was there.
Can I clarify for both of you?
Maybe.
It says how many times has a president visited, not
I
necessarily
would say
how
10.
many presidents.
Okay, we got guess for 10 and 12. Not presidents.
like
How many
36.
times a president has visited?
I feel like this is just pitting Chris versus myself. Where's everyone else's guess?
We see the
We see
answers
the
on
answer.
the TV.
So if you want us to, we can compete. That's fine.
We figured you guys were the intelligent ones besides Dennis.
I know this one. I know this one.
You know what? Maybe it's more than that because Obama, I know, was here a couple of times. I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to go like 16.
Okay. Sean, do you want to change your...
I'll go with 22.
Oh, you went for the $1 and the $1.10. Okay. Correct answer is 100 visits.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah. Okay.
Buffalo used to be cool.
Yes. During the 1800s, Buffalo was one of the largest shipping ports in the United States. How many sacks of flour were exported from the city in 1842?
You said tax.
I did say sacks.
Sorry, that totally diverted my attention. Sean, I'm going to let you take this one. I know you're a big flour guy.
Yes, Kyle, I'm going to go with $1. $1, please.
No, how many sacks of flour?
How many
in
sacks of flour?
1842?
Honest to God, I was trying to make a joke there with Price is Right, but it went right over everyone's head.
No.
Okay,
I got it.
The price is wrong.
6,000 pounds.
They're looking for number of sacks.
Okay, so here,
1842 sacks.
since you're going
I'm
for...
going to say 1.3 million.
Okay.
Okay, that's a guess.
That's a real guess.
That's a real guess. Sean?
I'm going to go with 2.7 million.
Oh, what a dirk. It's 26 million.
Okay.
I can't believe you guys didn't know that.
Yeah.
Chris, we should just take off tomorrow and just,
Study.
I'm gonna have to dabble up in the history of flour more, I guess.
Yeah, I believe Buffalo is the largest flour milling city in the world, is what I saw
I just
earlier.
like the fact that Cheerios is still here. When Cheerios leaves, then that's when I move out of Buffalo.
That's a good reason. Property taxes are going to go. The Buffalo Bisons played at Offerman Stadium from 1924 until 1960. What other sport used to hold events in the same place?
What other sports?
Sport. One sport was the only other one that shared the place with the Bisons. Offerman Stadium.
I'll give you a hint. It's not mainstream.
I'm going to go bocce ball.
I thought polo was coming to mind.
What was the other one that was said?
Did you say bocce?
I said polo.
Polo? Okay. Boxing.
That was the first thing that popped in my head, but when you're thinking of a stadium outdoors,
it doesn't say who's
first answer.
It could have been a dome.
Polo and water?
Water polo?
That's water polo, but real polo is like on horses with like
Croquet
big
mallets.
croquet mallets. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, last question. I haven't been keeping score, so whatever.
Nobody is even close to right.
Oh, you know what? That you
I
know.
don't warn you.
Yeah.
Throw it out there, Kyle.
Yeah. I'll play it after this next question. Where the frick is it? Okay. Buffalo got its first amateur baseball team in 1857. What was the name of that team?
The Buffalo Brave.
I might say like I'm gonna say like no, I have no idea, to be honest with you. I would say it's something. I would say it's Wild West based, but I don't think so. Maybe the Buffalo. You know what? I'll go with the Buffalo Bisons. Maybe it was after a Buffalo or something.
Oh, very close. Buffalo Niagaras.
Oh, creative.
Yeah. Did you also know that with the help of Niagara Falls, Buffalo became the first city to have widespread street lamps in 1886?
This is getting deep. That's good.
Also, here's a tidbit that I didn't realize. This is absolutely ridiculous. It is illegal to throw a snowball intentionally at someone's head in Buffalo.
Still? For real?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I've done that so many times.
Two more facts.
gonna say,
Two more
that'd be a criminal.
Two more facts, and then we can get the Buffalo Bills talk for a minute. The first man executed by an electric chair in the United States was from Buffalo. Served a sentence for murdering his wife. I don't know the year. I don't know the year on that. Last fact. The Ellicott Square building on Main Street was once the largest office building in the world, built in 1896.
Huh.
Impressive.
Yes. Boys.
Quickly surpassed in 1897. Probably.
Lasted for 6 months. Okay, boys. Brendan, I'm going to give you credit for this because this was all you. We were going to go through our Bills superlatives. Anyone can shout out a name at any given time. Let's start with MVP. Who is your Buffalo Bills MVP for the 2023 season?
If anyone says anyone other than Josh, you're crazy.
Yeah, I think that one's easy. That one's just Josh Allen all the way through. There's not even a close second, really.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
Woody.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know how much you guys talked yet about the other football games this past weekend. But watching the Ravens and the Chiefs and seeing what Lamar was doing, it made me question, like, are we serious about this MVP stuff? When a guy has the stats that Allen had, I just don't see the comparison. I think that's hands down Josh Allen.
Okay. You agree, Dennis?
I do. Big time. I think that because Buffalo's a smaller city and politics and all that, I think that's why Lamar Jackson's going to win it.
Which is BS.
It's such a weird narrative. It's like bizarre. Yeah. And I want to. I'll bring this up after you talk. I got something I was going to ask you about the Lamar stuff. But go ahead.
Alicia, who's your MVP?
Josh.
Good choice. All right, what's your question, Woody?
It's not so much a question, it's just something I would throw out there. And I didn't think much about this until this past weekend. You know, without taking too much of a political, I don't want to take any type of political spin on it or racial spin or anything like that. But I wonder, like, if you look back at the weeks of the season that played out, there were about 3 or 4 quarterbacks that continued to be in that MVP chatter. And there was one that really wasn't, and it was Allen. Even though his numbers dominated those other quarterbacks, I sat there, my buddy and I were having a conversation about it, and who were those quarterbacks that were in that chatter for week after week after week leading up pretty much to the last couple of weeks of the season? Who were those quarterbacks?
Lamar.
Purdy. Okay, I'll give you Purdy, yeah. I thought Purdy was maybe just the last couple of weeks, in my opinion, but keep going, yeah.
Mahomes.
See, I thought Mahomes had a bad year.
Tua. I don't think Mahomes was really in that conversation on a lot of the shows.
Yeah, Dak.
Dak definitely was in it.
Dak.
Yeah. Tua. Was Herbert in it at all?
He was not.
Okay. What about like Matthew Stafford? I heard that a little bit towards the end.
Right.
A little bit. Hurts was the other one too.
And what's his name? Texans.
C.J. Stroud.
Stroud.
It was interesting to me that, and maybe this is an agenda by the NFL. And again, I am not your political guy. I'm not your racist guy at all. I had this conversation, opened my mind to it. I thought my buddy had said to me, he said, is this maybe a narrative where the NFL are trying to prop up certain quarterbacks when the stats just, in my opinion, and that part I thought was true, but just didn't match up to what Allen's were. That's why I threw out there to you guys discuss. Maybe it's a cloud of smoke. Maybe it's nothing. But I just thought it was interesting. Lamar and Tua and Dak and Hurts were there. Granted, they're quarterbacks in the NFL, but I thought there were other ones you guys brought up that were just as good, if not better than that.
Well, I mean, shit. Josh Allen had one less playoff game. No, right? They both played 2 games because they had the bye.
Josh and who?
Josh and Lamar.
Oh yeah.
And Josh had way better stats.
Yeah.
And he still had. I don't know. I think it's because we're Buffalo, and I think Josh Allen should have been highly considered. He better be number 2 in the votes when it comes out.
I just got a question. I think I know the answer to this one.
Well, he ain't going to get it.
I think it was just regular season that determines your MVP, right? They don't.
Yes.
They don't vote. Right. They vote prior. They don't vote during the playoffs, right?
Yeah. I don't know if they vote before or after. I think it's definitely supposed to be a regular season thing. To me, it's always been a question of, do these voters see the playoffs and does that sway their vote at all?
I think they do vote before. I think they vote after the last game, before the first playoff game even starts, I think.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I think based on his numbers, Josh should have definitely been the winner.
Yeah, I think it's all about money. I think that you can probably squeeze some more money out of Baltimore or even Miami, things like that. I think it all comes down to money.
Well, everybody's just shitting on him about all the turnovers. That's literally like all they had. And then when they said, once they lost the playoff game, they said, this guy can't win the big game. So that's all you're hearing. You're not hearing like oh, well, all these records that Josh broke this year or tied, like, he's in some elite company with his numbers for real. And for some reason, like, the media doesn't want to give him the props for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
So maybe you're onto something, Woody. I don't know.
is it going to take him to win? Go ahead.
Sorry, Kyle. I was going to say, Brendan, I agree with you there. To me, it made sense that there's some sort of narrative that everybody else seemed to be on to, and yet the narrative around Josh was, like the turnovers. Like, I don't even think the turnovers were that much different than most of the quarterbacks.
I don't even think he didn't even lead the league in turnovers. I don't think.
And then when you look at the numbers Josh Allen had in the positive, they're not even close to some of these other quarterbacks.
Right.
I think he had most yards, most touchdowns, tied for most rushing touchdowns, I think, with Hurts.
Yeah.
And which is really mostly like tush pushes. Hurts didn't have touchdowns like Josh Allen.
No. And Josh Allen had more because of the playoffs.
No, I think he tied him in the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
I think Hurts had two more
I
regulars.
thought
I thought he
season
tied him.
stats.
I
I'm
thought
not
he tied
sure.
him in the playoffs.
I just want to say, before this podcast, I had never known what the term tush push was, and I'm here for it.
Alicia's volunteering to help out with that actually next year.
Yeah. That's funny. Okay. Next category. MVP in the trenches. Offense or defensive trench? Shoot.
Terrell Bernard.
No, he's not.
They're
in the
talking
trench.
like O-line, D-line.
Oh, I thought you just meant.
I would say Ed Oliver. I mean,
Too bad the guy didn't fucking show up in the playoffs in the final game there.
that's the thing. He's always been. He was a high draft pick, and he never lived up to it. But this year, I felt like he had a good year.
Yeah.
I think you got your money's worth out of him, and it's just unfortunate that him and Daquan Jones didn't show up in the last game.
Yeah.
Mike,
What's his name? The
give me a number.
rookie offensive lineman Osiris
Torrance.
Terrence Torrance.
This guy comes in. He's a rookie. Did you know that he is the only player on the team that played every snap?
Really?
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yep.
So did you know that, Sean and Woody?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because
I think
Kyle
I
Allen.
knew that. I think it might be even better. I think he might be the only player in the NFL, not just the Bills, that was in for every snap.
Wow.
Sean, those staples didn't affect
I
your
might
memory.
be wrong, but I did hear that. I don't know. He definitely was the only Buffalo Bill.
She
But he
fact-checking
might have
that?
been the only offensive lineman in the entire league. to
Are you
play
fact- are
every
you fact-checking
single
that?
down, every single snap.
Are you fact checking that?
Just getting her answer
No,
right.
I'm just
No.
looking up who of O-line and D-line guys are, so I have an answer.
Perfect. Yeah, but here this guy's a rookie, played every snap, and I would love to see how many sacks he allowed because I don't think it was many.
Well,
You know, you
That-
gotta
I
give
know-
credit to where credit's due. The Bills hit this year at the lottery with their draft picks. I mean,
who?
Kincaid.
Kincaid.
It was another
Cyrus
one. I
Torrance.
mean, how many times have these players been drafted and they just kind of go by the wayside? But you got the Bills have been able to plug in these players as rookies, and they've, going with what Mike said, they made a significant impact on this team.
Was Shorter this year? He got drafted? Or was
Yeah.
it- Okay. So
Hopefully he
got
shows
hurt,
up.
but
He
you
just
don't
didn't play
know.
at all, yeah.
Hopefully he plays next year.
And maybe next
Yeah,
year.
he'll play more next year.
I hope so. He's a beast.
Maybe not after we draft a wide receiver first overall
Do you know that?
or first pick.
There'll be room for him still.
Well, yeah. Yeah, we'll get into that.
Help me out here. Receiver that we got from Carolina,
Oh, Calvin Benjamin.
the only
Him?
first round wide receiver Josh has ever thrown to.
No way.
Yep.
Yeah,
Diggs
that
is
is
not
true.
a
I
first
saw
rounder?
that.
Nope.
Diggs was like third round, I think.
Gabe
Yep.
Davis.
He's not a first rounder.
He's like 5 or 6.
Oh, is that your answer? Yeah.
Woody. Who's your MVP of the trenches?
I was going with where Mike was going on that. I was thinking, Osiris, that guy to step in and do what he did as a rookie was incredible. I'd also think that Spencer Brown next to him, he coming off last year's rough year with injuries and, didn't have his best year. I thought this year, I mean, there might have been 1 or 2 plays where you saw him kind of give up a lookout block. But other than that, I thought he was really solid in most games. I know Josh likes to scramble out of the pocket a lot, so it's hard to really tell.
Yeah.
I just didn't see there were a lot of games where Allen was under complete duress the entire game. So I thought and I thought the stats backed that up with the offensive line. I think they were number 4 in sacks all year around the NFL. So I think Spencer Brown, Osiris, I don't think those guys were dogs in the trenches.
What are your thoughts with, this is a group question, Mitch Morse? He was not, you didn't hear his name a whole lot this year. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad.
Yeah.
I thought he played well.
Yeah.
Way better than I thought. But he's
better
had
than last year, right?
Yeah, definitely. But he's had like 75 concussions.
Yeah.
So, and he's not young. He's,
They call him Dad.
He's the old guy.
Line,
yeah.
They call him
I think,
Dad.
they call him soft spot, don't they?
Basic.
Yeah.
They call him Basic.
Okay.
He's also a huge
line.
fan.
All right,
He
fine.
was
All
on
right.
their Disney
No cap.
Sirius XM radio station giving his 4 favorite Disney songs over the summer. It was very sweet.
Are you talking about yourself?
No, Nick Morris. He was there. All of a sudden, I see Disney, Morris, Buffalo Bill, and he's called in. He gave his Disney moment, the whole thing. It was very nice.
Okay.
All right, Sean, let it go.
All right. Let it go. Yeah. Okay, next one. Who is
Love you, Sean.
your biggest surprise for the team this year? I guess that could be good or bad, or is that good, Brendan?
I guess you can take it either way you want.
Okay, boys, biggest surprise, biggest shocker.
Khalil Shakir.
Yep, mine too. Absolutely, that's what I was going to say.
What
I'm
about
gonna go with Russell Douglas?
Okay, you're going to have probably him twice in the next couple categories, so okay.
Maybe.
How long is he under contract for? We have at least one more year, right?
One more year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we got to win it.
I would go with Bernard there.
Good.
that's good too.
I would say that he had an amazing year, and once
Especially
Milano
with-
went down,
yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
once Milano went down, you were almost like, shit, we're
Yep.
screwed there.
Yeah.
And he filled it if as good, if not better than Milano.
Woody?
Yeah, I would say Bernard. The other surprise I might say would be Ty Johnson, that backup running back, who I thought was
Yeah.
if Cook went down, I mean that guy's more than serviceable. I couldn't believe his speed and how hard he ran the ball. So
Absolutely.
both those guys.
Okay. I would probably agree with the Shakir. Alicia, do you have one?
No, I was just gonna ask about Epinesa. Or was that just like a one game thing?
That's not bad. I mean, he had a couple games where he definitely made an impact. I was hoping he would have more of an impact, but especially in like the last couple games.
He's
but-
almost frustrating because
Yeah.
you're like, you watch some of these plays he makes, and where is this all the time? You know, and I understand how it works. I understand that you're not going to have even your Matt Milano's coming through with every play, but
Right.
if I felt like
He
single
went
digit
games
times
before you even noticed him.
single digit times he had big plays, and I mean through the course of the year. And where are those big plays? You know,
Yeah.
he had a pick six this year. You know,
Yeah. Most improved. I will go first. James Cook.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that I don't know if he got the opportunities.
See if you had one
in
of
the
these,
past,
you
but
could do this, buddy.
it's okay. I was holding. I was going back and forth.
We'll get you one.
I was
Don't
doing
worry.
the Sean hold.
I have this little shelf right here. I just put it on. So it works out really well.
I have the shelf too, but I like the arm. So.
I like that Cook got the opportunities this year, and I think that contributed to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woody and Sean. Most
I would say,
improved.
Spencer Brown.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a rough
Yeah.
year last year. So yeah.
And
okay.
I think we were ready early to kind of shit on him.
Sure.
And I think after the first couple weeks, you didn't really hear about it really that much, and that's a good thing for an old lineman.
Right. Dennis.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Snowman. I mean, I know we beat on him a lot for the most part, but I thought Dawkins had
Whoa.
a better season. Why? What?
I support that, Sean. I thought he
I
played
do
well.
not.
I get it.
I thought we
but you
just
know
said he
what?
didn't give up, like, any
wasn't-
sacks in the whole
he
year,
dialed
except, like-
down the penalties. The offensive line was one of the strongest we've had in the Josh Allen era. He had that great whole pancake on Dallas.
Oh, that was
Listen,
so fun to watch.
we weren't talking about him a whole lot, so I mean, it couldn't have been. If you're not talking about someone on the offensive line, usually they're doing their job perfectly.
I feel like he has the penalties at the worst times of games, though. The holding, the false starts.
I don't know if that's really a category. I mean, because it's so subjective. I think he dialed it back. You know, if you're talking about slightly or most improved, I thought he was noticeable and more. It might be 60-40, it might be 70-30, but I think he was more noticeable for good things than he was for bad things this season.
We agree to disagree. I don't like ladders.
The fact that they ran the ball this year better than they have as long as I can remember, and I think, again, statistically, they were at one point leading the league in yards per rush.
Damn.
I want to say, I mean, it was their stats in the run game were fantastic, and that you have to give credit to the offensive line. There, in my opinion, on that, you can't shy away from that number.
Yeah,
yeah. I felt like Dawkins. He was better than he has been, which doesn't really say a whole lot because he's been shit lately.
Yeah.
So, whatever. I wonder if Dodson on defense was most improved.
Oh, there you go.
He was awful as well.
He's been a special teamer for the last 2 or 3 seasons, and all of a sudden he's a starting linebacker.
Yeah, and so the last 5 weeks he's been pretty good.
And he had a rough beginning.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Most promising player.
I mean, I think that there's a lot of good guys. I would say either Shakir here, just because of the what he showed at the end of the season,
or Kincaid.
For sure.
Cook.
Yeah, I was thinking Cook because I felt like not so much for most improved or anything because I think he was already good. I think he just had to get his feet under him, so to speak, and it kind of frustrates me how much he stops. Because they always tell you always keep your feet moving. He always stops.
Yeah. So
I never liked that. But I feel like he was pretty good this year.
Okay.
Y'all are going to laugh at me. You're going to laugh at me.
I'm sorry, Mike.
I think Elam. Elam, they sat him the whole friggin' season. He comes back. He makes a bonehead play to get a penalty. And what did he do? He was in perfect spot to pick it. I think he has everything to gain and nothing to lose. And I think that's a good combination. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if both Poyer and
I think Hyde's gone.
Hyde's going to probably retire, I think, because of his neck.
Yeah. Poyer will stay one more.
Poyer's on for one more at least, but Hyde's a free agent. I don't know that he'll play. Maybe it's hope. Maybe it's hope that I want to eat him too, but
okay, so let's
he can only go up, right?
Let's play GM for a second. Elam plays next year because Trey White's staying or going.
I think he takes a pay cut and he stays.
I think he has to stay no matter what. No one's going to pick up that contract. We're not going to trade him. We can't cut him. The dead hit's too big. We got to at least try to get something out of him. Will he take a restructure? I hope so, but I don't know if he will.
Sean and Woody, thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure the logistics of what would happen if they release him, but to be honest with you, I just don't know how serviceable an aging now cornerback with 2 massive injuries to his legs. I just don't see how. I mean, you can get a guy out of college at 22 years old to do that now. So I just don't know what. I don't know how. I don't see him in the starting lineup for sure.
That is sweet.
And yeah, I mean, maybe he's like a player coach type thing, I guess. But yeah, I just don't see how you roll out a defense with him as your starter anymore.
That's the problem with these big, long contracts with these older guys, and we're looking at the same thing with Von Miller. I mean, I really hope he can get back to some semblance of, what's the word I'm looking for?
What he used to be.
Not even that, but just relevant. Yeah. I mean, he was not relevant. In that last playoff game, he came close a couple times.
Right.
And the one sack that I think he got was negated by a penalty or whatever the case was. It was a tackle for loss anyway.
It was a tackle.
That was a great play, though.
Yeah.
Great play. So let's ask the opposite. Who has been the most disappointing?
Diggs.
Oh.
For me, it was definitely Diggs. He started out real hot. Like the first 5 or 6 games, I think he's 100 yards every game. And you're not going to have 100 yards every game. I understand that, but you got to do something. I think he was below
3 for 21 in that last playoff game, correct?
Yeah, yep, something like that. Yep, and he had a big fumble to start the game off. I mean, that could have been
huge drop too.
Yeah,
that bomb from Allen was right in his hands. He should have caught it.
And he's the one that, like we talked about last week when you weren't here, Mike. That he's the one that always talks a lot about how he's the one holding up his hands like Josh Allen yelling at him last year and stuff. That's great, but when it happens to be you're the one that's messing up, so to speak. Then what happens?
You see Trayvon came out again this week trying to get him out. Is Dak really an improvement.
Speaking of Dallas, I saw Saquon Barkley. I don't know if this is true or fake. He apparently wants to go to Dallas and out of New York.
Well, I'm sure he wants out of New York because they keep franchising him instead of giving him a long-term deal.
Sean and Chris, who's been your most disappointing player?
You know what? I'll kind of contradict myself because I kind of rushed to his defense, but I think it's all about confidence. And I think going into this season, I think our confidence is shot with Tyler Bass.
Oh, good call, dude. Good call.
That was my
I
pick.
think,
Sorry, Alicia.
I think, I watched those guys, Buck Kerr from Kansas City, and unlike any other position, there's a confidence factor. Like, you could just look at a guy, 55, 45, whatever yards, and they're going to make it. And I don't feel anybody at the Za Bills table right now. I'm speaking out of turn by saying I don't know if anybody's got confidence in Bass. So, and it's not about the missed field goal and this. I think it's just based off of our view of how this. Where's his confidence level at?
Is he broken?
Even in the offseason, I think it's shot.
Is he broken?
You're never broken. It's not like he can't. I think he kicks a couple of field goals. I think, but it's got to be game field goals. It's got to be meaningful field goals, and you get your confidence back. But you've got to wait a whole off season, and who knows what that does to your brain.
Do kickers ever really get their confidence back though?
I think so. You wouldn't have kickers.
Can you say that about Ray Finkel?
To be honest, they don't make everything.
Laces out, Dan.
What about Ray Finkel, Sean?
Yeah. Ray Finkel, you got to hold the laces inside, I think. Is that what was that the
laces
call?
out, Dan.
Yeah, you got to hold them out. Got to have the Ray Finkel cookie.
Woody.
Laces on the outside.
Real quick before Woody goes, in the words of Peyton Manning, he's just a stupid kicker.
Oh, that's true. That's true. He got drunk. Yeah.
No, but just adding to that, I am not like a diehard. I don't understand football as well as all of you do, but I feel like his performance leading up to that last game left everyone's confidence wavering.
Well,
you guys mentioned it on this podcast. Like, you literally called what would happen, and it happened. Like, we knew that going in.
Keep her, Kyle. She's a follower. She's a listener.
I put a ring on that. It's locked up. She lost it.
Jesus.
Never mind. No ring. She's free.
She pawned it for the
My
Gabe
hands
Davis
are
jersey.
dry. I don't wear it when I have to put lotion on.
Puts the lotion in the basket.
No, it's winter in Buffalo.
Or it gets the hose.
Yeah. Woody, most disappointing player for you?
You're going to be mad at me.
No, I'm not.
Kyle.
Gabe Davis.
I feel like I'm going to rain on the parade of your gift that you received earlier, but Davis was a huge disappointment for me this year.
I know.
Only because he was going into free agency. He had the chance to set himself up. I mean, he'll probably command a lot of money anyways in the free agent market, just because some team will love to overpay like they usually do in free agency. But I mean, Diggs is one thing, but there were multiple games I was listening to someone chat on one of the TV shows talking about where Davis either didn't have a catch at all or had like one catch for 6 yards. I mean, that's hard to do in today's NFL as a wide receiver. Now, maybe that was Allen, I guess. I don't know. I mean, other guys were catching that, I feel like. But there just were too many games where Gabe Davis just was an absolute no-show on the stat sheet. And that, to me, was sad because, you need a number 2 wide receiver to be, your number 1 wide receiver a lot of times is just as good, is only good as your number 2 receiver, meaning that a lot of that pressure is taken off of the number 1 because the number 2 is a problem. And I just thought that Davis just, for the most part, most of the season was a no-show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we talked about it too, that he kind of lost his stake with Josh. I think Josh lost some confidence in him, and that's what cost him a lot of opportunities, I think, throughout the year. That there were some drops early on, and Josh just kind of seemed to lose confidence in him and looked other places.
Do you think it's possible that if Davis would have played in the playoffs, we would have had a different outcome?
What's Tony Romo call him? Big game Gabe. That's when he seems to come through.
We've seen him make amazing catches where you're like, holy shit, how'd he catch that? And then he drops the easy ones, right?
Yep.
Kind of like Knox a little bit.
Yep. The Ryan Miller effect.
Yeah.
Have huge saves, and what was that? But, I agree with, forgive me, I forget which one of the two, Sean or Chris, said he's going to command big money. He is
Chris.
he's definitely going to command big money. But having this off season, let's just say he doesn't, right? Let's just say people are like, well, we saw what he really is. I'm okay with bringing him back at a lower contract. I don't think he's that much of a liability, and maybe he still has something to prove. But I have to agree with Chris. He's gonna get who's the linebacker that went to Chicago? Help me out here.
Trey Edmonds.
Yeah, he's going to get Edmonds money somewhere else. Someone's going to pay him big money to go somewhere.
Probably.
I mean, at the end of the season, was Diggs really that much better than Davis was at certain points?
I was more impressed with Shakir than anyone else.
Oh, absolutely. Shakir and Kincaid all day.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Next category, Sean already kind of answered my answer, would be best acquisition, biggest steal on the market.
Yeah, I mean, that's
everyone's
a no-brainer.
everyone's in agreement with Douglas.
Yeah.
Ooh, Brendan's thinking about it.
Before you answer, I remember the day that trade came out, I put in our podcast text feed.
Some of us didn't even know who the hell he was.
That was me. I had to Google's Rasul Douglas. I know who he was, you know.
And I think Brendan was like, this guy's a turd.
Yeah.
A turd.
I shit on him big time.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I said, I don't know why this guy's, so interesting. He didn't seem like it. And then he made impact immediately.
Yeah.
So
finally.
I definitely ate crow there for sure.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because it wasn't Green Bay made the playoffs. It wasn't like it was the end of the season, dump season, and we're just going to cut guys loose. They actually were a playoff contending team. They let him go. Usually that's not a good sign, and all of a sudden he was one of our best acquisitions of the last calendar year.
Yeah. And the Green Bay fans were pissed when they traded him.
Yeah.
It was all over Twitter, X, whatever you call it now. And we didn't overpay for that either. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't a high pick.
No.
Yeah. The only other person that comes to mind for me is Floyd. I guess.
Oh, yeah,
Floyd
he was good.
Had a really good year.
Yeah, 9.5 sacks, 10 sacks.
Yeah,
in
did
there?
you see what he said though?
He's out.
No.
He basically was like, "Pay me or I'm leaving." So he won't be here.
Yeah, he won't be back.
What about Johnson? We already mentioned him before, the running back.
Yeah.
Did he?
He was pretty
Did he
good.
come from somewhere, or did we?
I mean, I know he was on the Jets last year, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he came from the practice squad in October. And look what he did.
Yeah. Sean or Chris, do you have somebody different than who we've mentioned for the best acquisition? No? Okay.
Not me.
All right.
I'm good.
All right, next one. We have two left. Best comeback player. I wish it could have been Von Miller, but that did not happen.
I mean,
Go ahead.
yeah, I've got to say it. The man was dead, and then he played football. I mean, how do you even the quarterback who just played in Cleveland, Flacco even goes, if anyone but Hamlin gets it, it's just a stupid category, and he's nominated for it. Flacco,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
he's like the man literally died on the field and then played football. He wins.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone got anyone better than him?
So yeah, let's talk about contributing.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I wish this was Von Miller, but he's probably in my most disappointing category.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Comeback.
Chris Sean? Or, Chris Sean.
Yeah, I can't really top that. He should win the actual award. I can't imagine he won't, but the fact that he's going to win probably the award for, comeback player of the year, I think says everything, about him.
Yeah.
Is he on the Bills roster next year? My guess is no.
I agree.
wouldn't think so
I
either.
agree.
Probably not.
What about?
He might be. I mean, he might be only in the sense that I'm not sure any other team's going to take him. And if he comes in cheap, he was an effective special teams guy. You need those guys.
Yeah, especially on fake punts.
I could see him being on one more year. I could. If another team comes calling, then great. But I'm not closing the book on him yet, though.
He's really good on fake punch, Sean. We should keep him.
He got to have someone to get 5 yards when you desperately, your season's on the line and you need it.
What did he get, 2?
You need someone to get 2 yards when you need 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
What did you say? That he was dancing around like an idiot back there?
Yeah.
What about Micah Hyde? The guy's out his neck. He maybe should not have played at all this year, and he came back and was an impactful player.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
You know who could have been the comeback player of the year if Milano would have sucked it up and came back and played?
Yeah. He also broke a bone in his leg.
Yeah.
That's kind of important.
Okay. This could be different for everybody. Best moment, play, offense, defense, special teams, whatever. Best moment.
Hardy and against Miami. 100%.
Ooh,
That
okay.
changed the game.
Yeah.
That was
Very meaningful for sure.
Yeah. Next. Come on, somebody.
I'm going to say Josh Allen's scramble against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I never heard the stadium so loud. The snowballs flying in the air. I think my brother tackled me onto the ground when that happened. That just to me was a great all-around play.
Yeah.
52 yards was that?
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. You answered my question. Okay.
There was a lot of good offensive plays over the whole year, and I'll give some props to Diggs because we were giving him a lot of love early in the season. He had 2 games where he had 2 receptions where he just looked like he was down already. One was against Miami, the first Miami game, where he looked like he was tackled by 2 dudes, pushes them off, and runs for the touchdown.
Right.
And he did that twice. It wasn't in
New
there was one in
England.
Miami, and it was New England, the other one.
Yep.
Those were some electric plays where you're just like, that's why we love Diggs.
The Miami game, the deflected touchdown catch. Who caught that? Toes in.
Sherfield.
And didn't he
yeah.
come from Miami?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, last year was on Miami. I think he was with Arizona and then Miami, I think, yeah.
Just fun. You know.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, Diggs just really disappointed me. Like, I was expecting a lot more out of him, like, overall. Like, I felt like, he's the number one guy, and he's the number one guy in the offense, too. And so, like, of course, game script and whatever, but you can only say that so much. Josh Allen not being able to find him. I'll give you a couple plays, of course, but more than that, like, I think something happened where he just fell off. He just fell off the face of the earth, I felt like.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for sure.
I'll go with game 1, even though it was in a losing effort. I can't think of his name off. I don't think it was Floyd, but whoever knocked Aaron Rodgers out and totally derailed the New York Jets as a franchise football team, that was a pretty remarkable play.
I can't even remember who it was.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah.
I think it was Floyd.
Was it Floyd who had that sack? He came close.
I think it was Floyd.
Some of the players would argue that it's the MetLife turf.
Yeah. Yep.
I will take either or because it basically knocked them out of playoff contention first week of the NFL season.
That Achilles exploded. That was crazy. Yeah.
My best moments are all
It was Floyd, for the record, Floyd.
all 15 or 17 Josh Allen rushing touchdowns. I hope he beats that fucking Cam Newton record. God, that's what I'm hoping for.
He will.
Speaking of records, it just popped into my head. Who is for Ovechkin beating Gretzky's all-time goal record? Anybody up for that? I don't know if I...
You know what?
Yeah?
Sorry, if I can chime in real quick on that. Watching Ovechkin play hockey in the era that he's playing hockey in versus Gretzky, not taking anything away from Gretzky, goaltending is better,
Yep.
equipment is better, the speed is faster. There is no doubt that Alex Ovechkin is the greatest pure goal scorer of all time.
It's a completely different league with physicality, too. You know what I mean? They let Gretzky skate, for lack of a better term. I mean, they didn't... in
Goalies
this...
couldn't even stand up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right. I really wished that Mario Lemieux had a healthier career. I think he would have been the best player ever.
Yep.
Chris, what do you think about Mario Lemieux?
I mean, yeah, I love Mario Lemieux. You watch his highlights. He was playing a different sport than anyone else around him at that time when he was at his peak. The fact that he was ill, came back, and picked up right where he left off. Yeah, he's probably top 1, 2, 3. He's in that conversation for the best ever to play the sport.
I mean, his numbers are ridiculous for the games he played versus like Gretzky's numbers played. Oh.
Yep.
And the same thing could go for Eric Lindros. I really wanted to see what he would have became if he would have stayed healthy.
He was a big dude. I remember I
Huge.
saw him in it was a record store. This is how long ago this is in New York City. Him and John LeClaire.
Oh, the Legion of Boom.
Yeah, and it was crazy how big they were. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, those guys. I don't know if I'm a fan. I don't know if I want to see Ovechkin use a cane to finish out his career to possibly beat this record.
Well, he's having a tough season because his
There we
centerman's
go,
gone.
Bruins guy.
Backstrom's gone. So, he's sitting on 6 goals. He's played a bunch of seasons. Age is catching up.
He's only
to
had
him. But
6 this year?
That franchise is committed to seeing him.
Fuck, he's going to have to play
break
20 more
Gretzky's
seasons to
record.
beat that record.
Well, I think that's the problem is you have to play for so long to be able to compete with that record.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to compare years. How long How long did Gretzky take
I don't know.
versus what or where Ovechkin is?
So, how many goals was the most goals that Gretzky ever scored in a year? Like 99?
No, 92, I think it was.
92 goals. What did Mogilny have? Like 78?
80s. He was in the 80s, wasn't he?
Was it 76, I think?
You know he wasn't the only one who scored that year, right?
Yeah, Solani and him both had
Timo
76
Solani, who was a
years.
rookie.
Oh,
scored-
Timo Solani was good.
Yeah. He scored the same amount as Mogilny that year.
Wow. Two in the same
Brad
year.
Hull had, I want to say Hull was in the 80s at one point, 82, 83 goals one year, I want to say.
Jeez.
Imagine having 78 goals and you're not the highest goal scorer because someone tied you.
So Gretzky played 20 seasons in the NHL.
20.
Ovechkin's has played 19.
Oh,
So he'd have to do it by next year, which is not going to happen.
no. Not if he's got 6 goals this year.
Right.
33 or so games left.
Yeah.
He's 66 or 65 goals away.
Yeah.
He's,
Sean,
he's also 66 years old. So
no, but Yager is still playing.
I know.
I was going to say that guy is
Well, you know the story
crazy.
behind that, right?
No.
He's playing for that Czech team.
Yeah.
Because his father owns that Czech team, and he's afraid that if he stops playing, it'll fold.
Oh, good for him then.
Yeah, he's playing to keep
But
it
that's
going.
also delaying him getting into the NHL Hall of Fame, correct? Because he's still playing.
He's
I
playing in
believe
Europe,
that's
though, right?
accurate. Yeah, the Penguins they just retired or will retire his jersey number this year. And the reason why they've been holding off is because, frankly, he's still technically playing.
Yeah.
You know that they were talking to him about possibly playing
In the NHL.
for the Penguins this past year. Yeah, but he obviously isn't.
Man,
That'd be sick.
could he still play
I would
with
love that.
Malkin and Crosby? You think he still got
not at
game?
all.
No, he could put him out there on the power play.
Yeah,
You
Put him
can't-
out there on the
not
power
in the
play.
NHL.
Yeah.
You can't
Those-
tell
those-
me.
Those 52-year-old bones would get rattled.
You
pretty
can't
quickly.
tell
You're
me
not- you're
that
not-
he couldn't produce the same or better than Ovechkin is.
I do understand that, but it's a man's league. It's a young man's league, and you can't. This is not Gordie Howe skating with the Hartford Whalers and his two sons. This is,
In his
Isn't that what
sixth
Ovechkin's
decade.
doing?
done, and people would be onto it. You know, it's not practical.
So are you saying Ovechkin should just hang him up?
No, I'm not for anybody. I'm like anybody. You know, when you can go out at your, on your own, at your own time, at your own leisure. I think he's fine. I mean, this is the first season where it doesn't look like he's capable of putting up 30. But if you asked me in September, can Ovechkin put up 30, 35? I would have, maybe not the mortgage, but I would have taken that bet.
Who has the most goals so far this year in the NHL right now?
Matthews, I think.
Yeah, Matthews is
Yeah.
right
I
up
think he
there.
just scored 40, didn't he?
Jeez.
You know,
Is he the
You know,
best
this is
American-born
Sammy Reinhart-
goal scorer
Sammy
ever?
Reinhart. Yeah, I was just
Dude,
saying.
yeah,
Right.
Dude, that guy is beast mode.
Do you know
this
that
year
Reinhardt has more power play goals this year
than the Sabres combined?
than he totaled for the Sabres in 1 year? Yep.
Listen, if you want him back, he's going to be up for a new contract this year.
Well, that's
Buffalo
great,
top
but he's
dollar
not coming
for your own
back.
draft pick.
There's no one in the world who wants to play here.
How is he playing that good?
You know what? Can I say something about Sam Reinhart real quick? I remember when we were in the depths of that Eichel, Kruger, just the misery that we were
Yep.
going through when they had all those good players and yet still somehow found a way to dead last. I always said I felt like Reinhart was going to be a guy that someday hoist a Stanley Cup. Canadian kid, comes from good stock. I think his father was in the NHL at one point. And he was a good player. And I always thought eventually the Sabres have to hold on to players like that. And yet they just completely cleaned house and got rid of all those guys. And what do we got? 2 Stanley Cup winners, a Conn Smythe, and probably a guy that's going to be second in the NHL in scoring now within the last 3 or 4 years. It's unreal.
Right.
Chris, isn't it Sabres history where they have all these great talented players and they all dish them out like the Indians and their pitchers?
We could have a whole separate podcast on the Buffalo Sabres and why that is. I mean, I'm just convinced that nobody wants to come here anymore. I think it's a basically an AHL organization. It's a failing arena. Veterans around the NHL know that the organization is like this. They don't want to sign here. It's well known. And at that point, then you're just stuck, growing your own crop and developing your own guys. And sometimes you hit it on them, sometimes you don't. But that's a long way to get to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Hockey heaven, baby.
Yeah. Okay, one more Bills thing, and unless somebody else comes up with something. Who should the Bills go after in free agency, not drafting, but like who's out there that you want to see come in? I saw Michael Pittman's name tied to the Bills from Indianapolis.
I'm guessing it's going to be a whole bunch of guys we never heard of.
Oh, great.
We got no money.
They already said that we have no money, so they're not going to spend big.
So it's going to look like the Sabres are going to bring back pretty much the same roster with maybe one person here or one person there?
Yeah, probably.
How's that going to be any better?
I mean, I think that's okay. I think you got, you got to get another guy, whether it's a rookie, burner, somebody that defenses are going to fear. The Chiefs didn't fear anybody taking off the hood of that defense. And so they were up pressuring our receivers at the line. I think a lot of teams started to do that. You need a burner. You got to get a veteran guy in here to replace probably Davis. I don't know who that is. Somebody said Curtis Samuel. That's from Carolina. Whoever loves the Carolina trades
Ohio
or
State.
whatever. But yeah, I just think there's not a lot of money to spend. I don't think you're going to see a big splash. I think Bean actually even said that.
I think we'll see a lot of defensive linemen actually, because they tend to not make a ton of money, most of them. And so I think like the second or third week of free agency, that's when we'll see a lot of moves.
A lot of moves.
Well, I mean, by a lot, I mean I shouldn't say a lot.
There won't be
whatever moves we're going to make.
There
won't
won't
be
be
late in free agency.
there won't be day in week one splashes, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you're not going to drive home from work and turn on NFL Network in the first week of free agency. That's for sure.
Speaking of free agent splashes, or in this case not, did you see that Odell Beckham, they broke down with his contract he got there, had something like $800,000 a catch?
Yeah, he had like a $15 million.
And then I saw, I don't know if it was a joke or not, but I saw something about his dad tweeting.
That was not a joke.
Oh, about Baker?
Every comment was the sad part is this is a real tweet. The sad part is this.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Because I just saw it real quick, and I had enough of that. But because didn't he do the same thing a few years ago in Cleveland to Baker?
Yeah.
Didn't he say?
But he did it to Lamar this
Yeah,
year. Yep. The tweet basically said that his son needs someone to throw to him, and it's not his son's fault, and blah blah blah. Beckham did nothing.
Yeah.
Same thing with CeeDee Lamb and all those tweets that were coming out from his family members.
Yeah, his
and
mother.
Stuff. Dak's not it, and all this stuff.
So sometimes when you wonder who is the problem, look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
Well said.
Kevin Adams.
Yeah.
We should do that. We should do a Sabres.
Whatever.
Listen, I think we've all said it before that we think that this podcast is like therapy sometimes. I need some Sabres therapy. It's brutal.
Didn't you see that cool thing that happened the other night when they played, was it San Jose or Anaheim, where they
won?
Tage Thompson's
that's
dad
cool.
was on the bench, and the other Sabres dad was on the bench.
No, I missed that.
Is it Cousins?
The young kid, Benson, I think.
Eric Johnson.
Benson.
Yeah.
Eric Johnson.
yeah.
Both their dads are on the bench.
I tell you what.
That was kind of cool.
Eric Johnson is a surprisingly impactful pickup.
Absolutely.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. The guy shouldn't be out there fighting people, though, or whatever happened. Guy got clocked.
Yeah, we need
Or
some muscle.
dirty elbow.
We need some muscle. on this team.
If the Bills can find their version of a Debo Samuel, they need to get him.
I mean, that goes without
yeah,
saying.
every team.
Yeah,
every
right.
team does.
Like, they need the guy that they can get the ball to, and he's going to do, like, they need the Josh Allen of other positions.
Give Josh, Debo Samuel, and Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, my God.
We have a whole
in the
different
Super Bowl.
narrative
You're in the
today.
Super
Yep.
Bowl.
Yep. Now,
I think Cook can become that guy.
I don't know, man. McCaffrey, he's a different breed.
Cook is good.
Cook's got to not drop the ball or fumble it.
McCaffrey scored a touchdown in every game but one this year. How does that happen?
Yeah, McCaffrey's something else.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, what are you doing tonight?
What is going on, guys? Bryce is just chiming in from the
Oh,
podcast. I just picked him
BJ, what's up, BJ?
Hi.
How you doing, buddy?
Good.
You been studying your world flags?
Huh?
For trivia?
No. Oh, the flags. No.
No. All right. Well,
Letting the team down.
I'll send your dad the link you can study up on the internet.
Got it.
All right.
How about this? The defensive coordinator move today.
I'm okay with this move.
Never heard of him.
Well, so I was reading tweets the past couple of days because they've been bringing in guys to interview for defensive coordinator, and every Bills person that I follow was, well, that's a shot at him. That's a shot at him. Like, he's ready. And then I saw it today. I'm like, okay, I guess he's ready.
I'm just glad they didn't bring in the failed Eagles coordinator.
Right.
That would have been bad.
Yeah, I mean, Dorsey has a job now, so
yeah, Cleveland.
Good luck to them.
Yeah,
with that. But I mean, this guy, Babick, right?
Yep.
He came in with the DBs. Then he was the safeties coach. Then he was the linebackers coach. So he knows the defense quite well.
Yeah.
So, but then I heard on the radio, like, well, we'll see if he's actually calling the plays defensively. So, what is a defensive coordinator if you're not calling the plays? I don't know.
A puppet.
Yeah.
Run the defense in practice.
Yeah.
That's about it.
So, I don't know how much it's really going to mean if McDermott doesn't give up the play calling for the defense. So.
Chris, you have any thoughts on Babick?
Yeah, so I was reading today, I don't know if Dennis or whoever was just speaking and said this, but they are the youngest coaching staff so far amongst the coordinators and head coach. I think they're tied with Arizona or second to Arizona, which to me is fascinating. I think Brady is 37, I want to say. Babick, I know, is
37.
young. That kind of made me excited a little bit that, maybe, if you look around the NFL, some of
young
these
guys
young
are
minds,
successful.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I hear you fine.
Yeah, sorry. I was just saying that, they got some young guys, some young guns. They said Brady relates really well to Allen because of his age. And, the guy that left to go to the Bears, and now you got this Babbage, who they say is a rising star.
Went to the Bears.
I mean, maybe you are talking, my brother had mentioned this earlier, maybe you're talking about like a McDermott coaching tree. These guys maybe go out and get jobs elsewhere. We'll see if it happens, but.
Yeah. Sean, what do you think?
Maybe he fell off the roof.
I think that he's concussed and he passed out.
Sean, you still there?
I'm still there. I don't really have much to add because I'm kind of like you. I don't know a lot about him. It just kind
what
of
do you
seemed
think?
Quick for,
well, let me ask you this way: do you like
cast off the defensive coordinator role?
Do you like?
I don't know if they were waiting for this guy, but I have no idea.
Do you like?
I don't know that well.
Do you like how they promoted somebody within?
You know what? I like it, but I don't like it after an extended amount of time. There is something to be said about people with different ideas and different backgrounds. I mean, it's all on McDermott, man. These are all of his guys. There's nobody to blame but him going forward. So, I mean, it's risky from his standpoint, but it's a guy he knows if he feels he's ready for it. I mean, we kind of lauded McDermott for the job he did on the defense. Not that he still couldn't do it, but I don't know. I don't know. It's a risky move from his standpoint because you've got a lot of guys that are tied to the Buffalo Bills in a similar way as you were to the Buffalo Sabres. You got the Adams connection. I like sometimes branching out and getting other people for a second.
Yeah, I guess that would have been nice to get outside of the gene pool, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's what I expected. I expected them to kind of make a move similar to that. It's kind of like a no-brainer in a way.
Did you think they were going to keep Joe Brady too?
I did. Yeah. I thought Joe Brady did a good job.
So if the world comes crashing down and bad things happen next year, do they implode the whole thing and start fresh or what?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I think McDermott is kind of in Pagula's eyes, like written his own. He's able to write his own ticket, kind of.
I disagree. You got to win something to
I know. That's what I think too.
Win stuff. They don't have a shelf life that's forever. He's got one more year. As a matter of fact, I'm calling it right now.
Okay, hold on.
Hot take.
130-24, Sean Viola.
You have got to pull the plug and start with someone new. Because realistically, you might have one more shot at a new coach with Josh Allen. You just can't keep rolling back the same futility.
I agree 100%. I definitely agree with that.
Was ripe to be beaten. Yeah, if and buts and Kenny were nuts. I mean, they could have pulled it out, but you have got to make progress with one of the best athletes on this planet, one of the best quarterbacks we've ever had. We can't be relying on just making the playoffs anymore. Got to take that step. If he does not win, I think he knows this too. I think he's done.
You know what? Speaking of guys that step up, like watching that Chiefs-Ravens game, Lamar folded. He did not look good at all.
Well, and they were saying the same thing happened when they played the Bills in 2020.
Yeah.
He's not good in the playoffs. But the reality is for the Bills is that Mahomes isn't going anywhere.
No.
Unfortunately, he's your new Tom Brady. He's the guy you got to get past to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So the Bills got to figure it out.
They got to do anything to beat him in the playoffs.
Right. And I mean, Joe Burrow wasn't there this year, but
Right.
he's still there.
Joe Burrows.
And,
Yeah.
And now Justin Herbert, he's going to have Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, what do you guys think of those hires? Raheem Morris, Atlanta, Harbaugh to Chargers. What about no Belichick anywhere yet?
Well, I'm not a big Belichick fan myself. If
I know
that already.
I know.
So I'm happy about that. But I like Harbaugh a lot.
I heard a rumor Belichick's waiting. He's holding out for Buffalo next year.
Kill me now.
So it's funny you say that. I saw an article that had many different reasons why Bill Belichick would be a good fit in Buffalo. A lot of it is to stick it back to Kraft, the Jets, and Miami twice a year still.
I don't care.
He's already like 73.
So you're telling me if you bring in Belichick, guaranteed Super Bowls.
That's a different
I'm
conversation.
having deja vu when we talked about this
We
earlier
did,
this
yeah.
season.
I was here for
and
that.
My opinion has not changed.
Okay, fine.
But you can't guarantee that. You just can't.
If you could, if that was the deal.
If you could, that's one thing.
Sign
but you
this
can't.
devil.
I feel like he's just old, and he couldn't do it without Brady.
Andy Reid's old.
I mean, we got Josh Allen, so maybe he's his new Brady, but I don't give a shit. Fuck him.
I agree.
All right, you heard it from Brendan. Fuck
Words
him.
live by right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck him.
So I'll answer your question about the hires. I love the fact that San Diego hired, or whatever.
LA, yeah.
Hired Harbaugh.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Saban retired.
Ohio State.
Yes.
Have you seen all the free agents they've been getting?
They decommitted from these places and they're going to Ohio State.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we might have to have a national championship.
You like that
podcast.
because you're an Ohio State guy?
Yes. Yeah. They got some good guys showing up now.
I'll tell you a quick story about Ohio State. You know me, I know everybody.
Yeah.
So he doesn't own it anymore, but the guy that used to own Stanley Steamer in Western New York.
Yeah.
His name is Dale C. His cousin is Luke Fickell. Luke Fickell used to be the head coach of Ohio State.
Yeah.
And I have a buddy who lives in Canada, and his father-in-law was very ill, and his one dream was to go see Ohio State. So at the time, Luke was the coach. So I text my buddy. I'm like, hey, can you get tickets? Whatever. Whatever. About a week or two later, I get an envelope in the mail from Luke Fickell's mother.
Wow.
Sent me 2 tickets. I gave him to 50-yard line seats.
Jeez.
Against Penn State.
There you go.
Penn State's winning the game the entire time. Ohio State came back and won.
Nice.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I still have never gone, but I gave away tickets on a 50-yard line.
Yeah.
Yep. That's my story. I'm done.
All right. Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Good story.
I'm going to take
All
my
right,
Gabe
gentlemen,
Davis
I
jersey.
gotta
in.
bow out. I gotta dismiss. I've got to rest and recoup, and but hopefully I'll be live next week for the Zow Bills podcast. And in the meantime, carry on, gentlemen.
All right, Sean. Thanks for
Sean,
calling.
Glad you're doing okay.
Sean, I never got the
you guys
answer.
later.
Are you going to school tomorrow?
I am taking one more day off, and I'll hopefully by Thursday I'll be back in.
Are you taking the day off, or is your school still closed?
No, it's somehow back open. But
All right.
we've been virtual for the last 3 days, but technically we have to go back tomorrow, so I'm going to take that day to recover, and I'll try for Thursday.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, congratulations, Kyle.
All right, rest up.
Enjoy, guys, and I will talk to you all soon.
All right. See you.
Watch your step.
Bye-bye.
Watch your step.
Watch that first step at the doozy.
Oh, shit. I hung up on Chris, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well.
That's the bad thing with the three-way call.
No. You can individually do it. I think I must have double tapped and it was delayed and then whoop. Okay.
Didn't know there was anything bad about a 3-way. Oh, we still talking about
I guess so.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. All right, Mike. So you have that unlabeled nondescript bottle of liquid that could be very well poison. Let me tell you a little story about non-labeled bottles. I don't think OSHA would prove that. There was a gentleman at work. Shout out to you, Timmy C. Sausage. He's on Trivia. He's been to Trivia. I think you guys have met him.
Okay.
Is this going to get him in trouble?
No, absolutely not. I don't think there's a lawsuit pending or anything. He one day went to go use. He got something in his eye at work, and he grabbed the eye wash, and he ended up putting paint thinner in his eye because somebody replaced the stuff in the bottle and never relabeled it, and then he's spraying the shit in his eyes, and his eyes are like on fire, literally on fire. So that's the little thing where I see that, and so that happened to my buddy Timmy.
So real quick shout out to my buddy Rob who made the bottle for me.
It's a beautiful bottle.
I think you described
Decanter?
it as your grandfather's cologne bottle. But
I mean, you've seen some smaller sizes.
It's a lot of cologne.
It is a lot of cologne.
Is that Brut by Fabergé?
By Fabergé.
Yes.
Little Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Yes. So the bottle is an H.W. Harper bottle that my buddy made me a goat head. We talked about this earlier in the episode. Anyway, so what you guys are drinking, well, before we get to that, on the table, we have a $40 bottle of Four Roses. We have a $60 bottle of Knob Creek 12. I'm not sure what Alicia paid for that, $50-$60 for a Russell
Reserve.
And then Calumet, that's about $60. What you guys are drinking is a $14 bottle of Jim Beam Orange.
Go figure.
Mm-hmm. And it's an easy drinker.
Yeah.
I like old fashions. Old fashions have the fruit, have
never had that.
orange rind around the rim if they're done properly.
Yeah.
This takes all the effort out of it. Pour it in some ice and drink it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I thought, like, when we were drinking it, that it was kind of like a pre-made cocktail type of beverage, and it definitely gives off those vibes for sure.
I will get this and take it camping with my father and I, and it's cheap, and we both enjoy it, and we both sleep really well.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because when you trip on the fire and you spill it all out, you're not upset. I mean, you are, but not like a lot upset, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you a real quick funny story before you wrap up with the orange. That my dad's buddy came with us, and they're both in their 70s. These guys, and he's a camper, so he likes to sleep in his own tent. So even if I have my camper, he likes to put his tent on the yard and sleep in his tent.
Yeah, sure.
We were drinking this stuff one night. He goes, all I know is I was sitting there by the fire with you guys. We're having a great time. And I stood up and I ran to my tent because it was downhill to because that's how much it hit him. It's you're drinking juice, it's sweet, but
I think I've had 2 or 3 shots. No, 2. I don't know.
We'll make it 3
tonight. Yes, for After Dark.
Yeah.
And speaking of After Dark, folks, we're not going to drag this out any longer. We're going to give you a shorter episode. We are unsure on the output that will be coming forward during the off season. We're going to have a business meeting at Mike. How do you pronounce the place? Climax in North Tonawanda.
On
Oliver near Robinson.
A little
store?
further north.
Okay.
A little further north. Yeah.
We're going to go there and talk, drink, eat, business talk, so we can write it off, kind of shit like that. And we're going to figure out what to do. We want to get you content as often as we can, and we're going to do our best for that. But for now, tonight, before we get into our After Dark, go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills next year.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Zob Bills Podcast is a presentation of Kmart Productions, sponsored by Does It Chiropractic and Empire Towing and Recovery. Thank you for listening, and if you haven't, please follow, rate, review the show. It helps with the algorithm. Zob Bills is executively produced by me, Kyle. Executive sound engineering by yours truly, also me. Fundraising, also by Kyle. All artwork executively produced by Avery and Mark Rochon. What the heck is this? All music and lighting executively produced by Kyle. That's more like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Please drive carefully, arrive home safely. Good night. Yeah, baby. Yeah.